This one made me cry. The incredible story of United Airlines Flight 1175. It was a routine morning at San Francisco International Airport. Passengers bustled through the terminal, sipping coffee, clutching their boarding passes, and chatting excitedly about their plans. United Airlines Flight 1175, a Boeing 777 bound for Honolulu, was filled with a mix of vacationers, business travelers, and families. The aircraft gleamed under the morning sun, symbolizing promise and adventure. Captain Douglas Myers, a veteran pilot with over 25 years of experience, was conducting his pre-flight checks. Beside him, First Officer Lisa Thompson reviewed the flight plan. Both were confident. The weather was clear, and the flight was expected to be uneventful. Among the passengers was a young boy named Ethan, traveling with his mother, Clara. Ethan, just 7 years old, was fascinated by airplanes. With bright eyes, he asked his mother endless questions about how planes worked and how they stayed in the air. Clara, though tired, indulged his curiosity with a smile. The aircraft took off smoothly, climbing to cruising altitude. Passengers settled into their seats, some watching movies, others reading books or dozing off. Ethan pressed his nose against the window, marveling at the clouds below. About 3 hours into the flight, something unexpected happened. A loud bang echoed through the cabin, startling passengers and crew. The aircraft shook violently for a few seconds, and the cabin lights flickered. Panic began to ripple through the passengers and the cockpit. Alarms blared. Captain Myers and First Officer Thompson quickly assessed the situation. The engine on the right wing had experienced a failure, and parts of the engine casing had detached, leaving it exposed. Though the aircraft was still flying, it was clear they had a serious emergency on their hands. Calm but firm, Captain Myers addressed the passengers over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have experienced an engine issue, but I want to assure you that we are trained for situations like this. Please remain calm and follow the instructions of the flight attendants." The flight attendants, though visibly shaken, moved swiftly to reassure passengers and demonstrate safety procedures. Clara held Ethan close, whispering soothing words. Ethan, sensing the gravity of the situation, clutched his mother's hand tightly but remained silent. His wide eyes fixed on the window and the cockpit. Captain Myers and First Officer Thompson worked tirelessly to stabilize the aircraft. They contacted air traffic control and informed them of the situation, requesting an emergency landing at Honolulu International Airport, the nearest suitable location. The airport began preparations for the emergency landing, clearing the runway and mobilizing emergency response teams. As the plane descended, passengers experienced turbulence, and the tension in the cabin was palpable. Despite their fear, acts of kindness began to emerge. A young woman comforted an elderly man who was trembling in his seat. A businessman shared his noise-canceling headphones with a crying child, hoping to ease her fear. Clara noticed a flight attendant struggling to stay composed and offered a reassuring smile. Even though her own heart was pounding, Clara thought for a moment before replying. "He might be, but I bet he's being brave for all of us. Sometimes being brave means doing what needs to be done even when you're scared." Ethan nodded solemnly, his admiration for the pilots growing even stronger. In the cockpit, Captain Myers and First Officer Thompson displayed remarkable composure. With one engine functioning and the other severely compromised, the landing would be challenging. They relied on their training, teamwork, and communication to guide the aircraft safely to the runway. The emergency landing was tense. The passengers braced themselves, holding on to each other as the plane approached the runway. The wheels touched down with a jolt, and the aircraft roared as it decelerated. After what felt like an eternity, the plane came to a stop. A moment of silence hung in the air before cheers and applause erupted in the cabin. Passengers hugged each other, tears streaming down their faces. They had made it. Emergency vehicles surrounded the aircraft, and the crew worked quickly to evacuate the passengers. Clara and Ethan stepped onto the tarmac, the warm Hawaiian breeze brushing against their faces. Ethan looked up at the towering aircraft, now grounded, and whispered, "They did it, Mom. The pilots saved us." Clara hugged her son tightly, tears streaming down her face. "Yes, they did, sweetheart." And so did everyone who stayed calm and helped each other. In the days that followed, the story of United Airlines Flight 1175 made headlines. The pilots were hailed as heroes for their skill and composure, and the crew was praised for their professionalism under pressure. Passengers shared their experiences, emphasizing the acts of kindness and bravery that had emerged in the face of fear. Ethan, inspired by the ordeal, decided he wanted to become a pilot when he grew up. He told his mother, "I want to be like Captain Myers and help people when they need it most." Clara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "You can do anything you set your mind to, Ethan. Just remember, being brave doesn't mean you're never scared. It means doing the right thing even when you are." The story of United Airlines Flight 1175 became more than just a tale of survival. It was a reminder of the strength of the human spirit, the power of teamwork, and the importance of staying calm in the face of adversity. It showed that even in moments of fear and uncertainty, people are capable of incredible kindness and courage. For Ethan and many others, it was a life-changing experience, one that would be etched in their memories forever. And for those who heard the story, it served as a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the extraordinary things ordinary people can achieve together.